All right, welcome back to Fall Friday Nights, you guys. This week we are actually getting ready with Emergency Preparedness Week. So we have a couple tips to help you be prepared in case of emergencies. What I want to talk to you guys about is actually helping somebody in different scenarios. First thing, before you help anybody, I want to go over the 3 C's. As you can see up here, I have check, call, and care. The reason why these 3 C's are so important is because this actually is the 3 C's that you follow in first aid and CPR. For you guys that are certified in first aid and CPR, you've already seen the 3 C's. If you haven't, again, this isn't a certification for CPR or first aid, but this is to help you in case you're ever out in the street and you do need to help somebody. All right, first things first, let's talk about check. Before you can help anybody, you need to make sure that everywhere around you is safe. Make sure that it's safe for you to help people. It's safe for you to be in that environment, because if you're not safe, obviously you can't help somebody else. So make sure, like I said, if there's an earthquake, make sure nothing can fall on you before you help that person. Make sure if it's somebody outside in a vehicle, make sure you won't be getting hit by another passing vehicle. And again, make sure the atmosphere is always safe for you to help. The next C in the 3 C's is call. Before you even start helping anybody and you've already checked the area, make sure you call for help. If it's 911, if it's just you by yourself, pick up your cell phone, call 911. If there's somebody else, if there's a crowd of people, you choose the one person, point to them, make sure they realize that you're talking to them, and ask them to call 911 for you. And this way, and you can explain to them what's going on. But if they're there, I'm pretty sure they can explain what's going on to the 911 operator. At that time, while they are making that call, if it isn't you and you're there, you can start to care for the person, which is the third C on the 3 C's, on the check, call, and care. Depending on what the scenario is, that's what we'll do to help care for the person. So at that point is when you start asking questions before anything. If the person is responsive, meaning that they're not unconscious, that they're able to speak, let them know who you are and ask them first if you can help them. If the person is unconscious and you see them lying there, you can automatically help them without their consent. But if they're able to talk, ask for their consent, let them know that you're just there to help. And I'm pretty sure if you ask them in a friendly manner and they need the help, they're gonna say yes. But there's also, in different states, there's a law called the Good Samaritan Law. Look for, in California we have the law, but look in other states if you're not watching from California and see what the Good Samaritan Law does and how it protects you. So once again, we're gonna go over a couple different scenarios here, and we hope you enjoy this video. Where somebody is having a seizure, for the most part, the person would be laying on the ground. The most important thing you can do to help that person that is having a seizure is make sure there's nothing around them that can hurt them. So if there's a chair, please remove the chair. If there's a table, even if it's heavy, try with all your might. But remember, you don't get hurt yourself to move that table. It's while the person is convulsing. You just want to make sure they're safe and they're able to come out of it. There's one myth that people always talk about, is to put something in the person's mouth while they're having the seizure. That is super, super wrong. If you put your finger, or if you try to attempt to put a spoon, a wallet, we heard a bunch of different things that you put in their mouth. That is absolutely the wrong thing to do. Again, if you're not safe, you can't help them. You put your finger in there, that person with that strength while they're going through their seizure can actually snap your finger off. So please, at the same time, don't. The best way you can help them is to move everything around and just, unfortunately, just let them go through the seizure. And when they're done with the seizure is when you can start asking them questions. Let them know that you're there to help them, and from there you can let them know. Some people might not even know that they had a seizure. You can let them know you just had a seizure, I'm here to help you. Don't let them move. Lie them down comfortably. Just keep them lying down comfortably, because they're probably going to be on the floor from it. And just try to comfort them while you go through the 3 C's. Again, don't forget, you got to check the atmosphere. Then after that, you can call for help, and then make sure you care for that person. 3, 2, 1. All right, you guys. So if you ever walk up to somebody, like we were talking with the seizure, and after they had the seizure, they'd be lying there. The best thing you can do for them is to turn them on the side so they can start breathing properly. The last thing we want you to do is actually go under and scoop somebody over, because the person might be heavier than you. So I'm going to show you what the easiest way is. As you can tell, he's lying down flat right here. You get his one arm. You're going to put one arm up like this. Don't hurt him. As you can see, you do it softly. Get the other arm and cross it over like this, right? And that's what helps you. You guide him over and you put him on his side. And as you can see, he's then lying on his side. This way he can breathe properly, and he's not just laying directly on his back, because if he's laying directly on his back, the person can still choke on saliva or any fluid that's in his mouth. All right, you guys, so now we're going to be talking about heat-related injuries. The reason why we bring that up is we know the sun's always out, and when you're out there actually playing outside in the sun, because we do encourage people to go out, enjoy the sun, go on walks, go on hikes, play sports at the park. But well, obviously when the pandemic's over, we want everybody out there doing that. But if you ever go out there and you run into somebody that you can see is suffering from a heat-related injury, here are little tools to help you recognize what they're dealing with. First things first are heat cramps. Heat cramps are very, very painful muscle cramps. Those are the most common out of all of them. So to deal with heat cramps, the best way to deal with heat cramps is obviously keeping hydrated. And believe it or not, they suggest that we drink either milk or coconut water to help you deal with those cramps. I know when you're out there on the field and you're out there hiking, it's rare for you to have milk or coconut water on you. So obviously water or a sports drink will help. After that, well, obviously, and make sure you go into a nice cool place. If you're there helping somebody with a heat cramp, you can help them move the cramp, so the muscle, so it can the cramp can start working itself out. Another thing is called heat exhaustion. Heat exhaustion is one of the most common things that happens out there. The way you're gonna identify heat exhaustion is fatigue is one of them. You're gonna look at their skin; it could be pale. The tone of their skin can actually, even though they're hot and everything, could be cool and moist. They could have headaches. Dizziness is one of the other tools that you'll see, and obviously weakness and exhaustion. The best way to help somebody with that is first of all, get the person out of the heat. Make sure they're in a nice, cool, shaded area. If you see, for instance, like myself, I have two shirts on. You would ask me to take the top layer of the shirt. You don't want to obviously go beyond that. Just if you see there's extra layers of clothing, you can ask them to remove the clothing. You can assist with them without crossing obviously that line, but let them know that you are there to help them. And obviously too is to stay hydrated. The same way like we said for cramps is for heat exhaustion. Make sure best two things are milk and coconut water, but for the most part those aren't going to be available. So just drink a lot of water. Drink sports drinks, and you can also get a nice cool towel and dap yourself with it to keep yourself cool. The third thing is the most severe out of all of them, and that is a heat stroke. That can be easily prevented because it's going to be heat exhaustion before it becomes a heat stroke. If you don't take care of heat exhaustion, it will develop in a heat stroke. The heat stroke is basically a high body temperature, and for the most part, some people actually change of a mental state, such as confusion, even sometimes the vision is off, and there's a disturbance. You know, you can talk to them and you can kind of just see that they're not 100% there. Losing consciousness may also be one of the signs of it. The skin turning red and pale is also another sign of it. And if that's the case, that's again, you go back to the check, call, and care. You check. If you see you're already at the point that it's heat stroke, automatically you call 911. If you have somebody around you, ask them to go make the phone call for you so you can start caring for the person. Vomiting, seizures like we talked about, shortness of breathing, those are all other signs that you're going to see from heat exhaustion. Another thing that happens with heat is nosebleeds. And a lot of people have the notion of nosebleeds to put your head back. That is the totally wrong thing to do with a nosebleed. With a nosebleed, you want the person sitting up and tilted forward so the blood can come out. You don't want to pinch the nose at the bottom. Actually, you want it right here at the top. You pinch the nose and you hold it right, and you hold it till the bleeding obviously stops. If it's severe bleeding where you can see the bleeding, it's just flowing out of the nose and there's nobody else to assist, that's when you can go ahead and call 911 for a nosebleed. So all right, you guys, those are a couple different tools on first aid. Hopefully they'll help you guys. Again, always remember the 3 C's before you help anybody. Look into the Good Samaritan law. That'll explain a lot for you. And again, always remember, if it's you lying there, you would want somebody to help you. So be that person to help out. We always need a helping hand, and it's always, I'm pretty sure the person will be grateful, whoever you help. So again, thank you for watching FFM.